way too early for the fake. This that real game for real bros. No decaf, no cap. Welcome to Shogun Bros, no decaf. Live every weekday, 6:30 in the morning, Central Time. Did you hear what I said? Central Time. We talk dogs, bloodline building to yard work, from stud talk to the truth behind the pups. This ain't no highlight reel. It's how you really build legacy. Shogun Bros, no decaf. Pull up, pull up, handle yours. This ain't just content. It's culture. Welcome to the Cookout with Toyo, where family vibes meet front porch truth. No scripts, no filters, just heart, heat, and hot plates. Ooh. Step up with elevated perspective, with elevated game for grown men and women building mind, spirit, and vision. And men at work with pimps over simps. Church, real convos, no cap, all purpose for the men behind the mission. 3 shows, 1 network, all gas, no decaf. Put no creamer in my man. Look, Shogun Unlimited, man. Press play and get man. Come on, press play, press play.
Yes, sir. We in here. We in here. Today we're gonna cook up on the dog anatomy, the skeletal structure, muscular structure, all their systems. We're gonna break down a little bit. So I'll get to it. So the skeletal system, bone structure. Dogs have 320 bones varying by breed and tail length. Their skeletal provides axial skeleton, skull, spine, ribs, and sternum. Appendicular skeleton is limbs and pelvis. So joints, the synovial, freely movable hip, elbow, and knee. The cartilaginous, limited movement, vertebrae, fibrous, non-movement, like the skulls. Their muscular structure, movement and strength. Dogs have 700 muscles categorized into skeletal muscles, which are voluntary movements, smooth muscles, involuntary, cardiac muscle, like the heart, cardiovascular system, their blood circulation. Heart is 4-chambered, 2 atria, 2 ventricles, blood vessels, arteries, they carry oxygen-rich blood, veins, they return deoxygenated blood, capillaries, exchange nutrients and gases. So the respiratory system, the nasal cavity filters air, enhances scent detection. The trachea and bronchi transport air to the lungs. And the lungs, they oxygenate the blood and expel CO2, carbon dioxide. So the digestive system for food processing. Teeth, they have 42 teeth. Incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. The esophagus, stomach. So they break down food. The intestines absorb nutrients, and the liver and pancreas aid digestion and metabolism. Nervous system, controls and reflexes. So the brain controls movement, emotions. Movement, emotions, and learning. The spinal cord transmits signals. Peripheral nerves regulate sensation and reflexes. The sensory organs. Eyes. Dogs see better in dim light but have limited color vision. Ears. They detect high frequency sounds. Nose. 300 million scent receptors for superior to humans. Skin contains touch sensation, sensitive nerve endings. So the endocrine system, hormonal regulations. The pituitary gland controls growth and metabolism. The thyroid gland regulates energy levels. The adrenal gland produces stress hormones. The pancreas controls the blood sugar. The reproductive system, breeding and development. Male anatomy, the testes, the prostate, and the penis. The female anatomy, the ovaries, the uterus, the mammary glands. Gestation, they have a 63-day pregnancy cycle, 63, 64. Lymphatic and immune system, defense mechanism. So the lymph nodes filter pathogens. The spleen stores and recycles blood cell. The bone marrow produces immune cells. The American Pit Bull Terrier is built for power, endurance, and agility, making an exceptional working dog for its anatomy. Its anatomy directly influences its abilities in various ways. The muscle structure and strength. APBTs have a high percentage of fast twitch muscle fibers, which allow for explosive bursts of speed and power. Their broad chest and well-sprung ribs provide lung capacity for sustained exertion. Their strong shoulders and back muscles enhance pulling strength, making them well-suited for like weight pulling sports. Endurance and agility. Their type IAA and type IB muscle fibers contribute to both speed and endurance, allowing them to maintain high-intensity work for extended periods. A highly efficient cardiovascular and respiratory system supports prolonged activity. Their compact muscle frame enables rapid acceleration and quick directional changes essential for agility-based tasks. Grip and bite strength. The jaw structure of the APBT provides a powerful grip, which was historically useful in tasks requiring holding or controlling prey. Their strong neck muscles support bite force and stability during physical engagement. Their mental drive and determination. APBTs are known for their high drive and determination traits that were selectively bred for working purposes. Their mental resilience allows them to stay focused on tasks, whether in protection work, agility sports, or endurance-based activities. Their balanced combination of strength, endurance, agility, and mental focus makes them one of the most versatile working breeds, whether in weight pulling, agility trials, or protection work. Their anatomy plays a crucial role in their performance. Some lesser known facts of the dog anatomy: the clavicle absence and enhanced mobility. Unlike humans, dogs lack a fully developed clavicle or collarbone. Instead of a rigid connection between the forelimbs and the torso, their shoulders are attached by muscles and tendons. This allows for greater stride length and flexibility, making them efficient runners and jumpers. Unique sweat glands and cooling mechanisms. Dogs don't sweat like humans. Instead, they regulate temperature through panting, evaporative cooling via moisture on the tongue. Sweat glands in their paws, the only place they perspire, helping with grip and minor heat dissipation. Vasodilation. Blood vessels expand to release heat, particularly in the ears and face. The Jacobson organ. Dogs have an extrasensory organ called the Jacobson's organ. Located in the roof of their mouth, it allows them to detect pheromones and chemical signals beyond normal scent perception. This is why dogs sometimes curl their lips and taste the air when investigating scents. The dew claws. Hidden function. Many assume the dew claw, the small high-placed toe on the inner side of a dog's front leg, is useless, but it actually serves a purpose. Grip and stability. Helps dogs hold on to objects like bones or prey. Agility. Provides extra traction when making sharp turns at high speed. So it acts like a sidewall of a tire. The tapetum lucidum. Night vision boost. Dogs have a reflective layer behind their retinas called the tapetum lucidum. which enhances their ability to see in low light. This structure reflects light back through the retina, improving night vision and causing their eyes to glow in the dark, like when you shine a light on them and stuff. The unique structure of dogs' tongues. A dog's tongue isn't just for licking. It has specialized papillae in it, tiny backward-facing barbs that help lap up water efficiently. Unlike humans, dogs scoop water back into their mouths. It helps them grip food through the rough texture, aids in tearing meat. The role of whiskers. Dog whiskers aren't just for decoration. They serve as highly sensitive touch receptors that detect air currents, obstacles, and even change in pressure. This helps dogs navigate tight spaces and sense movement around them. Potential limitations. So their muscle strain risk. Due to their high energy nature, APBTs are prone to muscle injuries if not conditioned properly. Joint stress. Their powerful movements can put stress on joints, requiring careful conditioning and recovery strategies. Heat sensitivity. Their muscular build generates significant body heat, making them more suitable to overheating during intense work. Yes, sir. Yeah, and so all that, we like to think that our dogs do these jobs and stuff, right? And we don't really take into consideration how they're built and why they do the jobs we put them at so good. You know what I mean? They're almost designed for the stuff we do, in a way. I mean, what they were originally bred for can relay over to, any daily activity that we do in a legal manner. Let's see. Todd Green, what's up, bro? RBG Lone Wolf, salute, brother. Pitwise, what's up, man? Melee, yes, sir. He said, scratch into that like button and shake it. Samurai, what's up? CPK, appreciate you. Yes, sir. He said, thanks to those that supported. Still a way to go. Anybody that wants to help contribute to him, go to his GoFundMe. So, Croc Bull Kennels, salute, bro. Yes, sir. So, yeah, whenever we doing some of these certain things, reason we get reactions out of them a certain way, we got to think about all them things. Their senses, their structure, all that stuff when we're doing things with them. That's why, whenever I mess with most of my dogs, they're mature by the time I put them on animals and stuff, or coming into maturity, because it affects all them small things that we just, all them little small factors that become one for the big picture. At full maturity, all their senses, all that stuff, is fully engaged. So, mental, bodily, everything, they're all ready. So us pushing dogs too young and expecting them to do things that 3-year-old dogs were normally doing, that can cause them to be, lackluster and wanting to work. If you're trying to push a young dog too hard, it can cause you to mess up their hips and joints, which is very important. Dogs can live to be pretty old, but I've noticed some of the first things that goes out is their hips and joints, and then their liver and kidneys. So, that's the two things I've saw. Unlike humans, we get Alzheimer's or cancer, or, you know what I mean? Some dogs get cancer too. But that really limits them. Their hips and joints and their liver and kidneys. That's the two things that narrows a dog's life down to such a small factor. If we could figure out how to help their kidneys and liver better, dogs might start living a lot longer than we see it. Just to be honest with you. Their muscle structure, as long as as far as the tools, the task you choose to do with them, weight pulling, they like a certain muscle structure over, say, the treadmill runners. That you're looking at two different bodily structured dogs. But yes, you might have a dog that can do both, but with dogs that really succeed in running aren't built like weight pull dogs, and dogs that really succeed at weight pull aren't built like running dogs. So people that are interested in some of these things, they've kind of saw what the It just kicked me for no reason. Hell, my phone's laying on the couch. But yeah. So like the things we make our dogs excel in, or excel in, that's literally like we've watched their whole life. We've built them up to what we want them to kind of do. You know what I mean? We just gotta be patient enough to let them mature to where they could really be good at what you're trying to do with them. You know what I mean? And that's not, you'll find dogs that are just straight out the box, like straight out the womb, ready to go. You know what I mean? Like to do anything. And like you got to be even careful with them, because you'll push their bone structure, you'll push their heart too much at a young age and stuff like that. Which is not bad pushing their heart. It's really good pushing their heart. That's what we should be doing with the young puppies. So, but pushing their bone structure is where you'll run into the problems. So like it's just important to understand, like, you're working with flesh and bones. That's kind of why I'm breaking it down into bones and ventricles, and you know what I mean? And you can relate to every single one of them words pretty much, because you have it, If you can't push yourself that hard, don't try to push a dog that hard. Because, like, some people pushing dogs harder, they're ever willing to work for themselves, and that's all right, But, like, you got to have a little bit of that in yourself to be able to ask it from a dog, you know what I mean? Like a little bit of an unwillingness to quit, to ask it from your dog. So by you getting out here doing all these physical things with them, even down to cleaning up their areas and, cutting trees out of their way and all that stuff, you're showing them an unwillingness to quit as you're doing it. You know what I mean? You're just working. They see you steady working. They see you not finished till you get the job done. We don't like to think our dogs think like that, but some of them do. They have an understanding of go until you can't no more. And it's something you really kind of have to they have it in their head, but you got to push that mindset. It's like seeing a kid that plays guitar at a really young age, right? You want to push him further to be better, not like push him so hard he don't want to do it no more. So that's one thing about like overdoing certain things with dogs. And overdoing it, there's tons of different ways of overdoing it. So that's just one thing to be cautious of. Like, you might not even think you're overdoing it, but if you set up a camera and watch it back, that's what a lot of people need to do. Set up a camera while they're doing some of this stuff and watch it back. That way you can, like, almost like replays in football. You can see what you did wrong. You can watch the video and see at what moment did that dog start running a different trot or something. You know what I mean? I do that every time I'm working my dogs. I video it every single time. That way I can watch it back. I might not keep the video forever, but I'll at least watch it back once or twice and see what's going on. So it's just taking these necessary steps to not hurt the dogs at their young age can really make or break the difference in a full-grown bulldog. Because letting them have enough time to really become what they are is so important. Like, I can't stress that enough, because everybody I see is pushing these dogs at such a young age. So like, and that's fine, because we're all in the game, you know what I mean? That's fine. Just be careful about your dog's hips. That's all I can say. Mason is going on 11 years old, and he does not have a hip problem, because I've always kind of I watched Thor and these older dogs, I saw what went on them first. So I've always kind of been easier on his hips and stuff. And he digs all the time, so he ain't easy on them. But I try to be. Yes, sir. Yep. So like, some of the DNA subject we talked about the other day goes along with what I'm talking about. Their DNA, some DNA of dogs, they have a high work ethic, and they come out with that work ethic. You know what I mean? So like, pushing them and keeping them to that state is fine. They might live their whole, like Haywood, he lives his whole life like that. He's fine to work anytime I want him to. Other dogs, like, I had an older dog that went to somebody and they conditioned it and they burn it out. And then, like, it was not willing to work for them at all. They just burn it up. They ran it too much, all that stuff. Yes, sir. Samurai canine, salute, bro. Yeah, so they just burn them out. Like they took a dog that had been kept in the house and it'd been worked, but like mindfully, like I had conditioned it several times, and but that was over like a 3-year pan. I got it a couple times and conditioned it and give it back to him, just to take him to a dog show or something, and so I had worked him mindfully, you know what I mean, knowing the type of dog he is. I only worked him so much, using certain feeding to get him into shape. So like when he went down there, he pushed him like a dog that he's had his whole life. You know what I mean? It burned him out. He wasn't willing to go anymore for him. Brought him up here, let him rest for a few months, and then put him through a condition, and then it's a totally different animal. Willing to work, does not care if I move something, he's on it. Like a lot of that's being mindful of his bones and muscles and all that stuff. His brain not pushing him too hard. Then I had let's say my Cadillac Rose dog, right? You couldn't push her enough. Like she was willing to go as long as you were willing to push her. So like it was almost like you couldn't break that out of her mentally. You really couldn't, because she was just willing to go. You know what I mean? And she just had a high work ethic, and everything that I understand about the Hickson blood and stuff, that's where it comes from. I'm like, okay. Like they put the Hickson Jr. dog on the mill for 3 hours straight and ran him for 3 hours. Like that's a really long time for a dog to run a slap mill. A really long time. And they even said he wasn't ready to quit. They pulled him off because they wanted him to quit. So like knowing the Hickson blood, like you got to be careful with them. Say you do get one with that mindset, but its body ain't willing to go that long. You got to make the body match the mind. That's where I got in with Rose. I always kept her in really good shape from the time she was like 10 months old. I started working her out and just keeping her in decent shape. So through that, I never burnt her out. Every workout, I left her wanting more. So it just built her mind up and her body to where she was just willing to go every time. She didn't want me, because she knew eventually I was going to make her stop. And they don't want that. They don't like it when you make them stop. You know what I mean? But like sometimes you have to. Especially the further you get in a keep. I've never heard anybody talk about that. The further you get in a keep, you're going to make them stop at different places. It ain't going to be consistent. Not for me, the way I do it. It's not going to be like I just work them this long till the end. Like I use what I see a little bit towards the end more than what I know is on paper. So that is one thing I'm always a little more cautious on towards the end, because I'm not trying to hurt their feet. I'm not trying to burn them up. I'm not trying to make them not enjoy what the confirmation show, what we're going to do. They should enjoy it just as much as I do, or what's the point in going? That's kind of why I had to like slack on the conditioning for a little bit and just take them and let them go. And I want them to enjoy it as much as I do, instead of just railing every single one of them out and them almost not even being like, they're being so peaked out, they're not even mentally there enough to enjoy what we're going to do, to stand there, to realize that we're doing something together. That's real important. Like keeping them happy with what you're doing, because I've seen some dogs that are not happy to do what they're doing, that are not happy to be there. You can tell. So it's just everybody has different end goals. So it's whatever we want to end up getting them to do, whatever we want to mold them to be. That's where we're at. Like we're in an age right now of us. A lot of us are neo dogmen, and some of us are some old schools that are that are still around, hanging out, kicking it. So like in today's world, where it's just what anything we want to get them to do, they can succeed in right now. You know what I mean? So we just gotta be careful and push them. And I mean, I've watched the community grow. I gotta salute everybody that's everybody that's in here and everybody that ain't even watched it, because I've seen a big growth in the community the last year and a half, as far as just them understanding conditioning more and some of that. Like a lot of people has a really good understanding of it nowadays, versus like back in the day, there was a lot of people that didn't know how to do it. There's a lot of people that messed dogs up. So I salute everybody on that. I've seen a lot of good looking dogs lately. And I mean, it's summertime. So like as closer we get to July, they always get phenomenal looking around the pig kicking time and every bit. Heard about that? Rabbit Man, what's up, bro? Salute. Yeah, so as we're getting closer to these sports, we got to be mindful not to burn them out. That way, when you show up with them, you're happy with what you showed up with, and they're happy to be there. CPK said, "I think that deep with a dog." Yeah, and like some of these, that's why you'll have success. A lot of people, you got to think deeply. You know what I mean? You got to. I appreciate you, man. Like they're more than just a machine. I grew up with them before I ever even knew people having the mindset of them being a machine. So, like, I understand that really heavily. They're not a machine. They can only be pushed. TV test pattern. Yes, sir. So, I've seen a lot of dogs be pushed to where they just don't want to do nothing no more, and it's almost, and like some of it's their nutrients too, like the feed that they're being fed. There's a dog food brand out there that a lot of people uses that I'm not sold on. I've never. All the dogs I see off of it look the same way. Like I'm not gonna say what it is because a lot of people uses it, but at the same time, like you got to be aware of what you're looking at. You know what I mean? You got what is the dog food doing for my dog that I can see? Because there's certain foods that don't fit their nutrients whenever they're being worked. And I'm not talking about cheap foods neither. This is more of an expensive food, but for some reason with our breed, they end up looking like the way their muscle structure and stuff looks just like hound dogs that I've ran behind. Because hound dogs aren't as built like our bulldogs are. So like their front shoulders look a certain way, their back shoulders look a certain way, and I've noticed that some of these feeds people use they get the same thing out of it. Or they're pushing them too far in their keep to where they start to lose shoulder structure and hip muscles, like shoulder muscles and hip muscles. And when you start seeing that go down, when you start seeing the hips and shoulders go down a little bit, you'll start seeing the mouth go away too. Anybody that's working their dogs, pay attention to that. When you see the muscles and legs get below a certain point, their mouth goes away at the same time. A lot of people don't believe that you can run the mouth out of a dog on a meal, but you absolutely can. It's their strength, their core strength, their like some of that, and I've seen it. You know, if you push a dog too far, they'll have no mouth. They'll almost be the soft mouth. They won't be able to bust the egg. Even my papaw that was just here, we were talking about plots and stuff because that's what he had. He had 30-something dogs up here on my yard at one time. I didn't know that. He just said it. And he was talking about them running so long that he had to switch them because their mouth wasn't nothing. And I'm like, huh. Like, even if you run them in the woods and let them free run with tracking collars, they can run their mouth off, too, the same way. So I was like, that's interesting. I asked him a lot of stuff because he owned hound dogs, and it's different than our dogs, but a lot of the stuff relays over, it seems. A lot of it's very similar to our pit bull terriers. And he's been around pit bulls. You know, he's been around hog dogs and everything. He'll tell you that our dogs today don't look nothing like the dogs back in the day. He tells me that every time. My papaw's a truther. He'll tell you the truth. So, at first I used to be like, whatever, papaw, you know, you don't know, you know what I mean? But now I'm like, nah, he knows what he's talking about. He's just telling me the truth. So, and I ain't talking about my dogs. I'm talking about dogs I show him on the internet. Because he'll come up here and sit for 2-3 hours, and I'll show him YouTube videos and stuff of dogs, and he likes it. He's always loved the dogs. So, asking some of these older people their opinion about stuff, you know, that might not even, they don't have no reason to make up one way or another, will tell you the truth. That's one thing I can say. That's why I respect a lot of the older guys that don't have a hand in the game. Is because they see it from a third person, like a third perspective that you don't see it from, and there's another person that owns the dogs don't see it from because you own them. That's why I always ask him, you know, I ask older people, like there's a couple of the OG dogmen, salute to them, they know who they are, that I talk to all the time. I run stuff by them because they've been around longer than me. You know what I mean? They've seen more. I'm like, I go to asking them certain things, and like, yeah, I've seen that before. Whereas I'd be like, no, that don't exist. They say they've seen it before. So like, us being so close-minded to all this other stuff is just it's almost detrimental to the breed. Just to be real. What was that? I guess a tree just fell outside. But yeah, it's almost detrimental. Like, we only see things one way, and that's it. And there ain't no other option. I mean, it makes no sense. Yeah, a tree just fell. Holy shit. I heard that. Right next to my pool. So, yeah, so it's almost detrimental the way we think about, because these old guys, they did not think that way. We put them on a pedestal. Oh, so and so. Man, there was a lot of people that couldn't even read. They didn't care about papers, like none of that stuff. They didn't even read. They didn't even know how to read to be able to know the papers. So who was doing their papers? Like, that's one thing we've never talked about. Like, overall, like, how many of these old, really well-known guys they were workers, they were, carpenters, welders, did all this stuff, but they don't know how to read, like actual books. You hand them a Harry Potter book and they can't read a single page out of it. They can't read the first word. So, like, we like to be like, oh, he's the best breeder in the world. Like, a lot of these guys didn't even know exactly what they were doing till after the fact. That's what made success be a thing, They knew they were doing what they wanted to do, but then later, years down the road, they were successful. People carried it on. People bought the dogs from them. People did all this other stuff. They didn't realize they were being 100% successful in that time. They probably wanted to do better. You know what I mean? Earl Tudor was trying to, dang, he was like, I want to make better than this. You know what I mean? But then years later, he was like, heck, that was one of the best dogs I ever had. It's hard to know what you got until it's gone. I'll say that 100 times. It is hard to know what you got until it's gone. And then you're like, well, damn, I had a real one. You know what I mean? This whole time we'll be looking for peds, searching all this stuff. And then your dog in your yard will die, and you're like, well, shit, I had a real one the whole time. And you realize how much time you wasted searching on the internet for other dogs when you had you had a badass dog in your backyard the whole time. That's where these pedigrees and all this shit. People didn't buy dogs back in the day because this dog was in their pedigree. They would look at a dog and be like, I like that dog. And they'd be like, yeah, it's bred like this. And they'd be like, oh, I like all those dogs. So that makes sense. Like, they weren't just chasing dogs for no reason. It was either dogs they seen with their own eyes at these places, or they knew who bred them, or something like that. They did not chase dogs. They did not somebody show them a pedigree and then be like, well, I like it. I like the way that looks, and I'm going to go get some of that. Yep. So Hemi James said you can read all the books on breeding, and that don't mean you're going to breed good dogs either. Yeah, exactly. Because of the black, like, you can read the black and white all you want, but when you go to messing with these gray variables, it's hard to get back to black and white, because there is variables that we cannot control that are part of our breed. We can choose not to like them all we want to, but it's just part of our breed. That means the way they look, the way they act, the way, you know what I mean? The way they don't act, like, all that stuff. Like, when you go to crossing up genes and shit, really making breedings, a lot of the time you're not going to see the results of what you read. I know a guy that's got a degree in dogs right now, and he'll tell you totally different than what's reality. So it's like, just because it's in a book don't make it true. That's all I can say. With our breed, it's so confusing anyways. It was people confused it back in the day, and then people today want to say, oh, I can get it straight. Bullshit, man. This has been messed up for far longer than you can get it straight. It will give you some understanding. It'll give you a brief understanding of like breeding and genes and all this stuff, but an understanding and fact are like two totally different things. So you have an understanding, but when you go to breeding them, you might see a different result. Don't be deterred because you see a different result based on what you read. Give it a little bit of time, test it, test out your theories, and see what you get. You know what I mean? Yep. So like it does give you an understanding, and it's awesome. Like, I'm gonna go back to school. I'm gonna get a degree. I know I am. I've actually been talking to him about it. So like, but at the same time, like, I'm not gonna abandon things I've seen with my eyes for what I read. I won't, because they might just have it wrong. Look at history. Look at how much shit we've had wrong. We didn't even know dinosaurs existed till like the late 1800s or something. So like, or maybe even later than that. It's like, we act like we know everything, you know what I mean? Just because it's in these books, but it couldn't be further from the truth. I was watching a story the other day about a humanzee. They believe he is half human and half chimp. They said that they didn't think they could breed together because they're technically two different species, but it made scientists think, wait a minute, and like the way it would act and stuff, and the way it did things, it was like no other chimp you had ever seen. It was kind of tall. It was just totally different. So like, that's one of them variabilities, you know what I mean? They didn't control that. If you would ask a chimp breeder, like, they would only say, nope, humans can't breed the chimps. But then there's a live example of it. They've been mixing ligers and all that stuff up to test the variability of sterileness. Like, if they cross so many, will they eventually get one that's not sterile that can reproduce? I don't know. I think so. I don't see why you couldn't. Kim Hendricks, salute, brother. He said salute to the panel and the chat. Yes, sir. He said blood. Yep, hear me, James? Yeah, like, the blood matters, you know what I mean? Like, people want to try to downplay stuff like all this, but like, every variability in your blood matters for the dogs that you have and you're happy with today. And like, people just need to face it. Like, some of this stuff was so messed up, we'll never be able to get it straight. We can only make what we do straight moving forward. And that's why everybody's on the internet posting pictures of their breedings, keeping track of it, registering their dogs. We're trying our best, you know what I mean? I see it. Everybody in the community, don't think I don't see you guys trying your best to make this shit correct. You know what I mean? And I salute that big time, because this breed I love more than about anything. Besides my daughter and my fiance, I love it about more than anything. And I'm not willing to quit. I'm not going to quit just because something happens. It will not make me back down. You can take my papers away, you can do all this shit. I'm still breeding dogs. It don't change me. And I'm still breeding the same family of dogs. I ain't switching that shit neither. I ain't gonna ban something I know is great because somebody says this don't have this blood over here don't have no discrepancies. So what? I'm not saying that my blood does, but I'm just giving an example. I've known of people that drop whole yards because of certain different things, and I'm just like, the dogs were phenomenal. I'm like, man, the game played you because you ain't playing the game because you got rid of a whole yard full of phenomenal dogs because of one little factor. And I ain't talking about like, mean dogs, none of that. I'm talking about like usually politics in these dogs. That's the biggest problem. We let these people that aren't even out here talking, speaking, run the politics of it, and they're running our fucking breed into the ground. So that's one thing I will say. They're making everybody that loves this breed, they target them, and they make them not even want to be a part of it anymore. And doing that, they feel superior. And that's not right. Back in the day, you couldn't just mess with somebody like that. You had to have proof. I don't know when we started changing where you didn't have to have proof. It sounds like rules are being made up as we go, if you want me to be real with you. And that's not right. Making up anything, like that'd be like, us saying at the Digital Dog Show, well, you can't do this all of a sudden. Like, we just made that rule up out of nowhere. You know what I mean? So, And some of it you do need rules, but some of it is just hating. And you can use them rules to your advantage. It's a power
No,
trip.
it's not. Some of that is certain people trying to take advantage of stuff and not having
Uh-huh.
integrity. But continue.
Yeah, no, you're right. They're not having no integrity, trying to take advantage of people, taking advantage of what they're doing, like buying up things and changing rules. Just, you know what I mean? That ain't right. That'd be like buying a registry and be like, "All y'all got to re-register your dogs, every one of them, even though you've already paid and had them registered. I bought it now, so you got to redo it." Nah, no, that's not right. Samurai said that's a good point. Yeah, like all these people, I'm telling you, that's the politics are what's ruining this. It ain't us out here showing our dogs off all the time. It's the people with the problems with the small things that are ruining this shit, making people like really good people not want to go to these shows, not wanting to participate. It makes people not even want to be a part of the community. That's sad when the politics are so rough that it makes people not even want to be a part of the community, period. Because that's all we got today is traveling, doing these shows, handling these dogs at dog shows. That's what we got. So, like, if they're pushing people out of that, what are them people doing with their dogs? They don't even feel welcome to do nothing, and that's sad as shit. Like, they can't even. They've made these people hate these dog shows so much they can't even take their kids to them and enjoy it. That sucks. Because for the last 3 years, before recently, any of the dog shows I went to were good. They were really good, high energy with all the people that were around, like good conversation going back and forth, just like I don't know, just community. Like that's the best way I can describe it. Just a real community. And then we'll see what happens here in the future. There's been some changes in the community, and everybody knows what I'm talking about, but I'm ready to see what happens with it. For sure. Like we just need to we as the people that shows up to the shows has control over some of this. Like we'll see them do people certain ways and we keep our mouth shut instead of saying, "Hey, that's not right. That's not right." You know what I mean? Like you're standing there competing and you see them do somebody that way. What happens when they do it to you? Then you're going to be mad. You only care when it happens to you. We need to stop being like that as a community. We need to be able to stand up for everybody. No matter their dogs, no matter who they are, no matter where they come from. Like this is the one thing that we all have in common. And like from what I see, it's literally only our breed that gets hate like that. That like people don't even want to show up to none of this stuff because they feel like they're not welcome or anything like that. Now, I'm not speaking about anybody in particular because I've been to shows through most of the registries. So the only ones I haven't's on the West Coast, but like it's just not right. As long as they're head dog, nobody else can step up, is what it seems. They don't like it when somebody else is doing good and they go to stepping up to their level. They hate that. They think that somebody else shining takes light away from them. And that ain't true. I want to see, like, everybody that competes in the digital dog show, I love seeing their dogs. I want to see them shine. That shit's cool to me. I sit there and watch them. I'm like, I know who that is. I know who that is. I know who that is. So, seeing other people shine don't take none of my shine away, and I know that. People need to get over that mindset. We sound like them, act like a bunch of kids about that stuff. Like, hell, everybody needs to succeed to a level. Everybody needs to know what that feels like. Yep. Yes, sir. He said, drive your own car. Don't let anyone take control of your steering wheel. Only you know your destination. Exactly. And that's what I'm talking about. Because, like, we need to just stay on GPS route. We're doing what we need to do. He said, were the anti-tethering laws introduced to target APBT owners? Or was it also a common practice amongst the hound dog owners, too? So, in my area, the chain law problems didn't come around because of the pit bull terrier. It was the hound dogs. These these people move in my area from, say, Florida, or any like they move from city areas up here to the country, and then they're like, oh my gosh, so and so has a yard full of these dogs tied out. Well, hell yeah, and he has for about 40 years. What do you think you're going to change about it? Just because you're from somewhere else? That goes back to where, like, you shouldn't be able to speak at a city hall meeting unless you've been a resident for 10 years straight. You ought to have to be a full resident to be able to speak and change things in somebody else's hometown. We have people from Florida on our board here. Like, that, you ain't even a resident. You didn't grow up, wasn't born here, or nothing. Like, that's not right to me. That's why, like, I've went to a town hall meeting. I'm gonna go to more of them. And when I hear them introduce something about chain laws, I'm going to come with the information. We'll talk about chain laws. Like that, they are a good practice in my area. I don't see nothing wrong with people having chains and stuff. Like, yes, certain places it's illegal, but in my area it's never been illegal. And I'm not willing to let them make it illegal where we can't do that no more. That's not right. That's why the animal control, they show up on me anytime, unannounced. You know what I mean? It ain't like I invite them. They just show up. And what happens when they're, oh, get out of here? Nah, I'm going to be nice to them because I'm not doing nothing illegal. I'm going to be nice enough that I need to be. You know, you can come in and look through their chains. They always see that their chains are new. I show them all that stuff. You know what I mean? They can't get tangled up on nothing. So, like, he has an understanding of dogs can be kept on chains correctly. I'm setting that example for, then other people go and they keep their dogs like shit, and he'll tell them about how my yard is. Like, I know people that hates my guts that their dogs are kept like shit, and he's went and told them, well, this guy does this, this, and this, and like, I know that eats them up. Like, you hate me, and that animal control tells them you need to be more like me as far as keeping my dogs in good condition. So, like, it's just all what we want to do, Like, everybody has a different story, and I don't know if anybody else does, but I look forward to seeing everybody's story. That's why I watch. That's why I support a lot of you. I subscribe to a lot of the viewers' channels. You know what I mean? I hope he posts your stuff where I can watch it. That's why I'm like, I hope people comes on here and all that stuff. So, I mean, anybody's always welcome to jump up here. He said, Hemi James. Okay, cheers, Elevated. Yes, sir. So, like, yeah, like, I mean, we need to be in a place where Beer and Bulldogs, yep, he does a good job. Yeah, I love watching his channel because it gives all these guys I know, I get to hear their story a little bit different way than, say, even Battlebred. He does a really good one. So, like, I get to see their story from him, and then, say, somebody else does one, they tell it a little different. So, like, I mean, I like all this shit. I love the breed. I love some of the people that's in the dogs, you know what I mean? Like, I'm tighter with some of the people that's in the dogs than my friends I went to high school with. I talk to them on a regular basis, see them on a regular basis more, and everything. And they live right in my hometown. But dudes that are 3 states over will come and hang out with me more than somebody that's in my own hometown. So, like, this community does matter to me, you know what I mean? And for me, it is worth fighting for because there's a lot of you guys out there that are really good guys, you know what I mean? And I know that. Don't expect me to sit back and keep quiet, I'll stick up for y'all. I'm just saying. Some people's not as out there on the internet. I'll stick up for them. Screw that. Because a lot of people are pushing for positive things. I see it. Like I say, I see it. Trust me. You may not feel seen, but you're seen. We got 3 big A's on the screen now. Yep. Dickie Foster, salute, brother. Yep. So, like, just keep pushing. Don't let people deter you. You know what I mean? Do you. Live your life. I love it. I love seeing the different setups, all this stuff. The way we work dogs different. I'm not opposed to one thing is the right way over the other. So I like seeing people, with the. I wish we could see more swim tanks. People doing more swim tank work, like videos of it and stuff. I'm about to have mine up. I've cut it. I have the pool filter and everything. So I just gotta dig a flat spot to sit it and then fill it up, and I'll be able to swim tank my dogs. So like, I would like to see other people show that off a little bit, because I don't know much about it. I'm going to be learning as y'all see it. When I start showing these videos of me you'll see the first time dogs are ever put in it and all that stuff. So, but I'll be learning at the same time, because I've never swam my dogs. Just because somebody might tell me I do something wrong, I'll take that, and try to build on it. I ain't gonna. That I can build with. I can change that. You say I'm doing this wrong, we'll try what you say. I love seeing if it'll work. So anybody that has done that wants to hit me up on Facebook Messenger and give me any suggestions, things I need to be aware of beforehand or any of that stuff, I'm welcome to it. Go ahead. I'll love it. I'll take it, and I'll try to implement every bit of it. I mean, I'm new to that. Same way I did with the emails. When I got the emails, I asked all these old guys that use them, and they're like, yeah, do this, this, and this, and don't do this. I'm like, all right. That they weren't wrong. I still do the same shit just like they told me to this day. And like an email, I had it, and I was doing it wrong at first. You know what I mean? I didn't know what to do. I would turn it on real slow and let them just kind of get used to it. And they'd always try to jump out and all this stuff. I just figured out, like, my dogs, you have to put them on it and get them going. If you get them going after the first set, 3 minutes of them running, they'll stay on it after that. They understand what they're doing. So, like, I've just had to adjust introducing them. Like, a lot of people think you want to introduce it to your dogs easily, gradually. I don't. I just put them on it and they run. So, the Working Man's Journal Outlaw Kennel. So, he said, who all is going to the pig picking? I should be there. I'm definitely going to be there. So, me and Throwback should be there. There's going to be a bunch of people. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to be going live for the confirmation show part of it. Me and Throwback are going to commentate it. We're going to try that. For the sanctioned confirmation show. I'm entering the fun show. So, yep. I think we're taking 6 dogs, I think is what we decided. And then I'm also, for anybody interested in puppies, I'm meeting a couple boys there to give them puppies. So if you want to be able to pick up that way and you're going to be at the pig picking, we can do that too. I don't care to do that for anybody. So, it'll be your first show? Well, that's a good one, bro. I went there for my first time, and ever since then, I've been hooked. I look forward to that day every year. Literally. Every year. It's almost like I look forward to it like Christmas now. I'm almost more excited than Christmas sometimes, as far as just the day. I mean, it's a hell of an event. Make sure if he said bringing 5 from Bama. Hell yeah, dude, salute. So make sure that you have a couple people with you. That way, if they have a yard tour, you can go on it. You know what I mean? Don't miss that. It's really cool to see. So Rabbit Man said, swimming is an amazing workout, but not too much. Triple J broke down to me how to properly swim the dogs. Yeah, so see, I'm taking any information you can give me, like probably linked and stuff, and then like I'm not going to use it as a main tool for conditioning because I believe that the water can make it have a hard time understanding how to cool itself off. But other than that, I am going to try it. Yeah, man, you don't have to be anxious. If you see me out there, come up and talk to me, bro, for sure. Anybody that's there or in any of these shows, make sure you come up and talk to me because I have a vision problem and I sometimes have a hard time seeing people. Like, I'll walk right by you and not know you. I'll do that in my hometown, and people I went to high school with, I don't even recognize them because I can't see. So just always make sure you come up and say, hey, you'll see our tent set up. But it ain't nothing to be anxious about. It's a lot of fun. Look forward to it, is what I can say. Look forward to it, because you'll be hooked after this. You'll be like, I gotta go back every year. They serve. I would bring you some drinks in a cooler. I would bring you a canopy. You need some chairs. You know, like you're going camping, like the basic small things. If you're going camping, usually people start showing up by like 9:30. That's usually the time they start. Registration starts at like 10, I believe, most of the time that I've been. So as long as you're there to register and everything, then you can do what you need to do till the show starts. They're pretty good about announcing when the shows are going to start, and they're pretty good about announcing which dogs are next and stuff, and waiting on dogs to get there, because that up at Tom's, the property's so big, you know, people's scattered out all over there, so they got to kind of wait on people to get close. It's a lot of fun. It is. The people, like, that's what I loved the first time. I see people there that I seen the first time I went. That's every time they see me, come up, hug me. What's up, man? Like a dude that I call Eli John. Like he's legit, man. You know, he every time he sees me, what's up, man? Daps me up and shit. Like I love that. Like seeing people that are still there doing the same thing, just like me. You know what I mean? I've seen a lot of people come and go, but I've also seen a lot of people stick around. So be one of them that sticks around. Yep. We coming up on the hour mark, Big A. I don't want to go into minute works too much. But yeah, so
all right, make it round, man.
Yep. You can hit me up on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, all the above. Anybody interested in puppies? I got puppies. The sleeves from my Show Dog Journal will be here today. I made like 150 stickers yesterday.
Sure.
So it's all coming together. I've already started on the second issue of the Show Dog Journal. So this one will come out, and then really soon after it, the next one will come out. Then it's going to be a scheduled thing.
Good. Yeah. Good
360 turnaround. He said, "You guys keep them videos rolling." Yeah, we try to.
Sit. Good. Man. Sit. Come on. Down. I know it. You know what I'm saying? She a good dog, man. She ain't, she's just a good pet. Sit.
Shit, I'll say it 100 times. I like my showing.
Yeah, she cool. She got
for the people in the back. I like my showing.
Yeah, she'll get calm with it. She's a controlled firecracker, I guess you could say. You know, and you see it's her first grip, and she got mouth. You know what I'm saying? She got mouth. Shake it, girl. Good shake. Yeah, man. Hey, but y'all know what it is, man. Man, we got the Digital Dog Show coming up this week.
Yep.
Man, y'all check that out. We got 3 free t-shirt giveaways on that day. Gotta be there to get it. What you call it? Dog of the week,
Saturday
man.
At 9:30, right?
Yeah, yes, sir. 9:30. 9:30, man. We got that going.
Oh yeah.
And
Jarvis, I had my 4th litter the other day. So I have 3 pups on Jarvis to Mercy.
Wow.
So the dog of the week, he has 2 litters on the ground right now.
Okay. That's what's up, man. Yeah, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Men at Work coming up next. And man, I lied to y'all, man. I gotta apologize. I said I was gonna drop this drama series on Saturday. I lied, man. It's dropping today at 11:30. I apologize about that, man. Y'all gonna cuss me out. I had it coming. But anyway, man, you know what it is. We got Men at Work coming up next, man. Man, salute to the chat. We ain't nothing without y'all. And that's the realest thing ever, man. So all these boys with a big head talking all that noise, like they better than somebody else, man. They ain't nobody without y'all, man. We ain't nobody without y'all. Salute. Uh, but other than that, man, you know what it is, man. Uh, till the next time. See y'all tomorrow or at Men at Work, man. Stay tuned.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. Yeah. All right. Appreciate that word elevated, man.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir. All right.
Tomorrow
We
will be
out.
a good cook up.
Yes, sir. All right.
Yeah. Beat drop slow, head nod flow, flow. Blood don't lie, it's that old yellow line. Sack it from the south, Michonne on the rise. Boogeyman bark, leave a mark every time. We don't breathe for clout, we breathe for spine. DNA thick, can't clone this pride. That Shogun blood, yeah, the legends don't die. Started with Boogeyman, ghost in the chain, locked in the game, never moved for fame. Old mountain lions run deep in the flame. Socket brought the fire, Michonne brought the name. Then came Fat Boy, muscle in the frame. Man, hard, put respect on the name. Shotgun smooth, but the work insane. Sugar sweet jit, but a bite ain't tame. Kiki in the back, had a game in the veins. Gatorade heavy, ran it straight through the rain. Red ninja close, watch him work in the lane. Renegade rider can't hold that chain. Blood don't lie, it's that old yellow line. Socket from the south, Michonne on the rise. Boogeyman bark, leave a mark every time. We don't breathe for clout, we breathe for spine. DNA thick, can't clone this pride. That Shogun blood, yeah, the legends don't die. Ain't no luck, just grit and grind. Every dog here put work in time. Lady Rage got that fire in her eyes. Red alert taught us how to recognize signs. Blood heavy like a 2-ton chain. Everything proven, no need to explain. They asked what's in it, that yellow campaign. Built off real, we don't fake no strain. Second was the flame, Michonne lit the wick. If you know, then you know that line too slick. From the field to the show, every move so thick you can't blueprint this. It's the legacy pick. Blood don't lie, it's that old yellow line. Second from the south, Michonne on the rise. Boogeyman bark, leave a mark every time. We don't breathe for clout, we breathe for spine. DNA thick, can't clone this pride. That Shogun blood, yeah, the legends don't die.